What's up, guys? Your boy's back, and I'm so excited to be revealing to you the restricted Pokemon Draft League. Yeah, I got that all in there right. So, we are a new Season 1 Draft League. We're only going to be doing 8 weeks as kind of an experimental thing to see how it goes first, and hopefully this Draft League will continue to grow and expand. We have 16 players, actually, so we got a lot of stuff going on, and so I just want to take this video to show you guys what this draft league is going to be doing. We're also using Crown Tundra Pokemon as well. So we drafted just before the Crown Tundra released. So you'll get to see all that new stuff, all those new restricted Pokemon will get played, and it's just going to be a really fun draft league. So guys, I'm going to give you my thoughts on all 16 of the teams right here, right now. Let's get in and check out some of these teams. Okay, guys, so we're going to go ahead and start off. We're going to go in alphabetical order, and I just happened to land as the first team. I'm going to go over my team with you guys and all the other teams as well. So, basically in this draft league, everyone got a restricted Pokemon and a Gmax Pokemon, and then we had 120 points to spend on Pokemon from there on out, and they were all scattered throughout various tiers of points. So, I drafted Mewtwo and Gmax Charizard. You all guys know that I'm drafting Charizard one way or the other, whether it was going to be Gmax or regular Charizard. In this case, I found it best to just go ahead and spend those points on Charizard. I do like the consistent burn damage, or the wildfire damage that comes from him. It's very effective, and there's not a ton of fire types, so there's not a lot of dodging out on that damage. So let me just go over my team just pretty quickly, show you some of my power stuff. So I did manage to get a hold of Indeedee female with Mewtwo with expanding force. So I have a great lead there. Also, we're not allowed to max these restricted Pokemon, so just go ahead and let you know there. So we do have Indeedee female and Mewtwo. Perfect combination for just psychic expanding force spam. Very powerful, and my speed tiers are actually pretty great as well. Mewtwo not really outsped by much in the format. So 130 base speed is pretty incredible. We got Charizard Gmax, as we said. He's going to serve some pretty obvious roles. One of the more exciting things, and the first thing I actually drafted, was Landorus Therian. This thing is going to be a monstrosity in this draft league because he's really only ×4 weak to ice. So I can basically look up if certain things get an ice move, and if it does, I'll just stay wary of that. So Landorus Therian coming out, intimidating stuff. And we got Cobalion with Weavile for beat up stuff, so that's another lead I can do as well. We have Venusaur and Charizard, which can take advantage of my Vulpix draft, which is down here at the bottom. Volibile, he's just there. Trust me, he probably won't ever get brought. But we have Vulpix for our Fire Setter. I didn't have many points left, and all the other Sun Setters were very expensive. So I'm just going to kind of use this thing to set the sun for me. So we have that to help Venusaur in the chlorophyll ability, and obviously Solar Power Charizard. We have Grimmsnarl as well to set up screens or Thunder Wave things or Charm things. Just do prankster type things. We also have Fake Out Pressure as well with the Grimmsnarl. We have Rotom Wash to cover electric and our water type. So we got, and he's a very bulky Pokemon as well. So he can be played with screens as well. You can do all kinds of things to throw off your opponent with Rotom Wash. Weavile, as I said earlier, he's really just there for an ice type as well, because there are things like Dragonite in this format, and I just really wanted an ice type to be able to combat those ×4 weaknesses to ice. So we got that boy. We got Machamp as our really just like a physical, like just to scare the crap out of things. No guard. I forget the name of the move, but 100 base power automatically confuses you. Yeah, kind of nice. Very low base speed though, so he'll come in when I'm expecting some Trick Room type stuff probably. We have the Fletchling, which is the he's just, he's the best Pokemon on this whole team. It's very obvious, and you're going to see that throughout this playout. So I'm just going to kind of go ahead and give a power ranking of each. I'm not going to go over every team very in depth because I'm not exactly sure what all their plans are, but I can kind of get an idea by looking at their teams. So I'm just going to give my team a power rank of like 9 out of 10. You might say that's a little biased, but I think it's pretty powerful, and I think you can see that for yourself as well. Let's go ahead and check out the Cheesy Chanseys. Let's look at what they got going on. Okay, they have the Kyogre with Drizzle. Blastoise can take advantage of that with Rain Dish. We have Indeedee Mel. I don't know if he has a Swift Swim user. Let's see. No Swift Swim user, so he won't be able to take a huge advantage of the rain, but he does have the ability to change terrain, which is very powerful. Has a great defensive. Actually, Ferrothorn can even take advantage of that by weakening Fire-type moves. Amoonguss can take advantage of that by weakening Fire types. So the rain will actually be a little more substantial on this team than we originally thought. Also have a Prankster user in Purloin. Prankster user in Sableye as well. Alchemy can also provide a lot of support. There's a lot of support Pokemon here. So I see really the only powerhouses he has is Kyogre. Blastoise can put out some damage. Indeedee Mel, you never doubt that. Braviary, if he gets intimidated, can really do some work. Mimikyu's not bad himself on the offense. But I guess Skarmory has a pretty good offense as well, actually. That's the defense stat, I'm sorry. But Skarmory's is more defensive, yeah, that's true. And you got a very defensive team here. I'm going to give this team I would probably give this team a 7 out of 10, somewhere in there. And the only reason I'm saying that, he has a lot of great things here. Obviously, Kyogre and Blastoise and Ferrothorn, and even Amoonguss can take advantage of that rain. But my main reason I'm ranking him a little lower is because I don't see a ton of offense, given this thing can be extremely defensive and hard to get rid of. And I could also see it very hard to get around all those supports to actually even kill his Kyogre. So overall, I think he's got a very strong team, but I think it's lacking a little bit of power. So, well, we'll see how things go out, and it's all about how this guy plays. I mean, power ranking is just a general statement that I'm making. It's my opinion. You may have a different opinion. So I just want to state that before we move on to the rest of these. So we're going to go to the Bearticks, the Chicago Bearticks. Okay, so we got Kyurem White. Pretty freaking powerful. 170 base special attack. Pretty good speed as well. Gmax Gengar. That can actually become quite bad by locking opponents in. So he has a locker. Cresselia, an incredible Pokemon as well. Tapu Koko. All the Tapus are pretty great. Milotic, great. Drifloon. This guy has a pretty good team, it looks like. And he has Tapu Koko with Electric Surge, so he can actually abuse the Unburden abilities with Hawlucha and Drifloon. So those two things will be something to look out for sure. Scyther's not a bad low-tier pick, as well as Rhydon. Rhydon has 2x4 weaknesses, though, so that's a little rough for him. But when you have things like Focus Sash, that's not too bad. This is a very, very powerful and defensive team. This team actually looks like it can do a lot of work. This looks like something I really don't want to play against as well. So I would probably give this team. Probably a 9 out of 10 as well. I mean, he has great coverage as well. It looks like he's very well spread out. He can do lots of different things with all his types. Sceptile is actually a really great draft as well. That's a pretty high base speed stat. I didn't know that thing was that fast. 120 is incredibly fast for a grass type. So, yeah, we'll go ahead and give the Chicago Bearticks, we'll give them a 9 out of 10. I think that sounds fair. We'll go ahead and move on to the Denver Big Nugs. The Big Nugs. That's what you got here, buddy. Okay, we got a Powerhouse and then a Cosmodon Wings. A little bit on the slower side, but you get this thing under Trick Room, it's going to really be a problem. The Gmax Snorlax, my lord, get that thing under Trick Room. You already know. So he does have a Trick Room setter. I think Necrozma can set it as well. Whimsicott has Trick Room and also Tailwind, so he can go one or the other way there. Probably the best support Pokemon overall in general, I would say. Dracovish, very annoying with Tailwind. I'll tell you that. Okay, he has Thunderous Therian. This is a good mon as well. Very fast and very powerful. Also very frail for the most part. So this thing can get in and get out though and do what it has to do very quickly. Has Volt Absorb, which is kind of nice. Another thing we noticed as everyone, we let this guy get Wheezing and Regigigas. That will be a great start for him. Archeops is not bad, not too scary though. Frostless also could be something used. A lot of these things will be more, especially the lower tiers, will be more situational depending on what they're playing against. Has a Sand Setter and Hippowdon as well. He can abuse that Sand Rush ability. I think we're allowing that ability in this with Dracovish. And Clefable as well, obviously a great Follow Me user, at least in draft format. You want to have a Follow Me user. It's very nice to have just the option. Also has a Shadow Tag option with Gothorita. So this team looks very scary overall. I almost would give this team a 10 out of 10. If I'm being honest with power rankings, he just has a lot of great options here and a lot of great coverage. But the speed tiers are a little bit slower, so I think as far as speed tiers goes, I think I'm going to give him an 8 out of 10, but really under Trick Room, this thing is easily a 10 out of 10. So if he can get Trick Room off consistently, people are going to struggle against him a lot. I mean, at least the faster teams will. Let's go ahead and check out the Primarinas. This will actually be our week 1 opponent as well. So I've already looked at this team quite a bit. So Lunala and Tapu Fini are the main things I see that are kind of a problem. We don't want to let those things get out of control. Also has Scizor, which we're not too scared of Scizor, I don't think. Anyway, Togetic, that's a great Follow Me user, so there's another thing. You're looking for that. And Tangrowth as well with a Rage Powder user, so she actually has the option of 2 different ones. I would imagine Togetic is the one that is brought against me. I don't think Tangrowth would be, but she could. We'll see. Luxray, good Intimidate user, also has Guts, which can be a thing. Pangoro, not a bad ability with Mold Breaker. She can really get around levitate stuff with earth moves that way. And also Mimikyu is not a thing against Mold Breaker. So we got Gigalith as well as a Sand Setter. I don't think she has any Sand Rush users, right? No Sand Rush users. Great ground type in Diggersby as well. That's a very underrated ground type. Overall, I'd probably give this team a 7 out of 10 myself. I think it has a lot of potential with Goodra as well to do some things. Don't have to worry about Sap Sipper too much on Goodra, it doesn't look like, unless she does some funky things with old Tangrowth down there. But it looks like she has a pretty strong team. And I'm excited to play. I'm really excited to get into this whole thing. This is 16 teams, so this is going to take a while. So you might want to skip forward if you're just here to look at what I have to say about your team. There's the Groudon, the boy I wanted for the Drought ability, obviously. Would have made the most amazing Sun team ever. But, he got, I think, first or second pick in the thing. So, I mean, yeah, they're going to go quick. Also has the Max Butterfree, very underrated Greatmon. Wow, this guy has a lot of great stuff. A lot of good lower tier stuff too, it looks like. Morgrem, really good in draft format, considering Grimmsnarl goes pretty quickly usually, and you still get the Prankster ability. And it's just a nice Pokemon to have. Miltank is a good scrappy or thick fat user even, with an actual surprising speed stat. Fletchinder, Wings, Tailwind stuff. That's all nice. Looks like he's got a Tailwind Setter. There's no Follow Me here, which isn't a big deal. Has 2 Intimidate users, is that right? One Intimidate user, a Sand Setter, and a Sun Setter. So there's a lot of nice things that can go there. Dragapol is not to be underestimated either. Obviously, for obvious reasons. Has a good Trick Room option as well, I think. Registeel bulky as crap, though. Look at that boy. I would give this probably, honestly, it looks like he has a lot of power, but I don't see a ton of coercion. Is that the word I'm looking for? It doesn't cohere together that well, so I'm probably going to give this guy a 6 out of 10. just because I see a lot of powerful Pokemon, but I don't see a lot of it really working together super well, if I'm saying that. But you should never underestimate your opponent, that is for sure, because he has a lot of things that can just sweep through pretty quickly if you're not prepared for it. So we'll give you a 6 out of 10 overall. The Ambor Nuggets. So right here, right off, we see a lot of powerful stuff. Zernius, Gmax Rillaboom, Heatran, Formosa, Kingdra, and Politoed. Looks like a lot of really great stuff. It even has Heliolisk to abuse some sun. Can bring Stoutland for Sand Rush things against sand opponents. Fungus as a Follow Me or Rage Powder user. And he even grabs an Impidimp. Why not? That's a good little prankster user. Pretty worth 1 point, I would say. And can do some things behind a Focus Sash. I mean, this thing can set up screens kind of nice. It can even bring Heliolisk with the Dry Skin ability as well under his Rain abilities. Has the Regenerator Tornadus Therian. Regenerator is a great ability. This is a very strong team. I'll say that. This is not one I'm going to really enjoy playing against, but at the same time, you can kind of look at his team and know about what he's going to bring because it seems like it's very top-heavy for the most part. But I would say most of the time he's going to always bring Zernius, always going to bring Rillaboom, always going to bring Heatran, always going to bring Formosa. So that's 4 you pretty much know he's always going to bring. And then Kingdra and Politoed will probably be brought against me, I would imagine, because water, right? So honestly, I'm going to give the Ambor Nuggets a 10 out of 10 for the most part because it's just super, super powerful looking. I'm going to say a 9.5 out of 10 because it's just top heavy, and that's really the only weakness to it. But really, I don't think anything's a 10 out of 10, but we're going to give you a 9.5 out of 10. That's my ranking. The Greenville Gastrodons, coached by our friend Senrez here. So he has an interesting team. Solgaleo, I'm not very familiar with, so I'll have to see what all it can do, to be honest. I know it has a pretty decent stats. It's lower for considering, I mean, me and him both had to pick on the lower end, and I'm so really surprised I got Mewtwo. But Grimmsnarl Gmax, probably won't get to see this thing max much, but man, the ability to have Prankster with Grimmsnarl is just great. It's a great typing. Grimmsnarl, like you all know, I love that Pokemon. Dusclops, the best Trick Room setter in the game. Hatterene and Rhyperior and Gastrodon, all Pokemon that take huge advantage of that Trick Room ability. Emolga Static is actually a pretty nice thing. It's a nice ability to get some paralysis off on some physical attackers. Cloyster kind of covers some nice things that are weak to ice. Leafeon can be abused with Ninetales in the sun. Swoobat is a great Tailwind setter, and Lucario is just a really good fighting steel type that can't be fake outed or just flinched, which is nice. And if he decides to pick up any beat up users along the way, he has Virizion and Lucario that can abuse that, so those will be really nice. Gastrodon covers a lot of his water weaknesses, and obviously he loves Gastrodon, so pretty obvious reason why he picked that up. I'm going to give him probably an 8 out of 10 overall. He has a great Trick Room option and also has great speed option as well with Tailwind and Leafeon. And Rhyperior is scary in or out of Trick Room if you ask me. So, I mean, that thing is just a monstrosity. So we'll give you an 8 out of 10, Greenville Gastros. Let's go ahead and go to the London Luxrays, see what they got going on here. Zacian, that's one of the ones I wanted right there. That 170 attack stat, 148 base speed, pretty incredible. Gmax Snorlax. This guy has a really great team. You can just see it as it goes. That Hitmonlee I wanted so bad, bro. I wanted it so bad. He sniped me so hard for that. Togepi, I don't know if Togepi gets Follow Me or not, but if it does, that's probably does for 6 points. So this team honestly looks fairly top heavy as well. Like, I don't see him not bringing Zacian, Cinderace, Celestial, Tapu Lele, or Thundurus. But then the rest of his team is just kind of a filler for whatever he's playing against. But I'm going to tell you right now, I don't want to play against this team, so I'll probably give this team a 9 out of 10 overall. The top is top heavy, but man, is it scarily top heavy. So yeah, we're going to give you a 9 out of 10 London Luxoray's. The Macon Mudsdales. I'm kind of shooting through this kind of quick just because there's a lot to cover here. And obviously this is just a brief overlook of things. So we got Zygarde, Toxtricity Gmax. I love that Pokemon, by the way. And looks like his speed tiers are in the mid section, so it's kind of a little awkward, if you ask me. Speed tier wise, anyway. But Toxtricity can handle that by paralyzing the crap out of stuff. Kinkeldra doesn't matter too much because he's just going to Mach Punch the crap out of you. I forget if he has a Trick Room user. Oranguru, he does. He has Oranguru as a Trick Room setter, so he can really go off on some of the faster teams. Arctozolt with Slush Rush with Vanillix, so that's good synergy there. Mandibuzz is always a great Pokemon. Very bulky, hard to remove. Mudsdale, same thing. Very hard to remove if you don't have water or grass. Not going to remove very easily at all. Haxorus is a great Mold Breaker user as well. Gets rid of all our teams that, like to Rotom things. He can just kind of Earthquake and destroy Rotom. Tapu Bulu, great Grassy Surge user. Entei can just burn the crap out of stuff with that. I forget his move, but it 50% burns. And Zygarde is an okay restricted Pokemon. It doesn't have the best stats considering it's restricted, but you can't doubt the Zygarde. You just can't. He's the Z. He is the infinite Z. I'm honestly going to give this team probably a 6 out of 10 as well. And my only reason for that, he has some powerful stuff, but awkward speed tiers, and I feel like kind of relies on Trick Room for the most part to be able to go first. So I'll probably give you a 6 out of 10. Let's go check out the Ozark Torterras. See what they got going on. Zekrom, very good. Urshifu, Incineroar, Rillaboom, Darmanitan, Galar, Duraludon, Volcarona, Araquanid, Cofagrigus, a Trick Room option there, Dugtrio, Tentacruel, and the Bonsly. Look at the Bonsly, y'all. He got a Bonsly. That boy got sturdy, too. You can't doubt Bonsly. That 10 base speed is to fear. Under Trick Room, anyway. Volcarona, great Pokemon. Also a Follow Me user. Rage Powder user, sorry. So he has that option. Zekrom and Urshifu, both very scary to look at. He has pretty good speed tiers, actually, as well. This is not something you can just outspeed everything easily. My team has one of the higher speed tiers on this whole draft league, so my team feels really good as far as speed tiers go. But he has the Trick Room option, so that would probably be likely something he goes against me. And Bonsly, he'll probably bring the Bonsly every game. I'm going to give this Ozark Torterras, I'm probably going to give you guys, I'm going to give y'all an 8 out of 10. Y'all have some really, really just solid Mons like Rillaboom and Incineroar, very staple type Pokemon. So that really kind of glues the team together a bit, and you have a lot of good coverage. So I'm just going to give you an 8 out of 10 because I don't see a ton of synergy, but I see a lot of good glue. So that's what I'm going to give the Torterras. Let's go see what the PogChamps are up to. See what they got going on. Rayquaza. Wow, what a great mon. Like, you don't know if it's going physical or special, so that's actually the surprise factor can get you. It is best 2 out of 3, so if you find out game 1, you kind of know better. Gmax Venusaur as well. Has the Torkoal. Darn it, I wanted you Torkoal, but you are just too expensive. Clefairy, probably, arguably the best Follow Me user because of Friend Guard. Charjabug, don't doubt that boy. He be big. I don't know if you have an option to Trick Room. Has probably one of the better the best non-prankster Tailwind user in Crobat because you can't flinch it either. Arguably the best Tailwind setter because of that. Kartana, great stuff. The attack stat is kind of like, whoa, like that's ridiculous. 181 attack. I will kill anything I touch, basically. So this looks like a very powerhouse team. Good Intimidate /Moxie user as well. With Crocodile, I don't see Anger Point coming out much. But Good Prankster user as well in Meowstic. A Swift Swim user even for the rain teams he might go up against. I'm going to give this team probably a 7 out of 10. It seems, once again, it's a little top heavy, but it has the best Follow Me user. I don't see a lot of these bottom Pokemon really coming, to be honest, besides Meowstic, Crobat. Those things will be coming a lot. Oh, he has the Pillaper with Seismitoad too, so he has a little coercion there. He can go rain or sun, so that's kind of nice. But I'm going to give you a 7 out of 10 overall, but really strong team for sure. The Sin City Salamax is our Week 2 opponent. Necrozma Duskmane, very well spread in stats. Speed is low, but other than that, this boy's scary. Has a Colossal Primarina combo, very scary as well. Zapdos, great Pokemon. Stakataka, do not fight that boy in Trick Room. He's so tanky. The boy can take a hit. Look, that 211 defense. Crazy. Dragonite, a pretty great 11-point pick if you ask me. Times 4 Ice Weakness, not the best, but that's my Focus Sash is a thing, right? Serena, wow, Queenly Majesty is so annoying. Zoroark, confusing. Does confusing things. Cutie Fly, just saying, look out. Look out for the Cutie Fly. Lightning Rod user in Manectric, so you can safely throw Gyarados out without, getting scared of getting shot down by lightning. So this team actually looks very strong. I'll probably give this team. This team looks very techy, and I like techy. I'm gonna give this team a 9 out of 10. It looks really strong and really scary, and has a lot of. It can do so many things, so many options. Like even these lower tier mons, you could really just see coming. Like it's really good spread. So I'm gonna give you a 9 out of 10, Mr. Sun City. Let's check out the Snoms. Snom OP. I'm surprised you didn't draft Snom turn 1. So Lugia, very bulky legendary. So not scary as far as offense goes, but when you get behind that Auroraville that Gmax Lapras sets up, it's like, how am I going to remove these things? It gets very annoying. So Lapras is going to really be a big deal on this team. As Togekiss as a great Follow Me user, Porygon 2 as a great Trick Room user. Bisharp, basically saying don't intimidate me. Arcanine with Intimidate. Ninetales sets the, has the little, wow, has the Excelgor Palisand combo as well. So you got to watch out for that. That could really that could really jack you up if you're not ready for that. I'm just saying. Really, this is a super solid team. Like, this is probably one of the most well-spread teams I've seen. It's more on the defensive side, it looks like. So I'll probably give it an 8 out of 10. But like as far as like spread and speed and typing and just strength, overall strength of the team is a 10 out of 10 for sure. But overall, I'm going to give it an 8 out of 10. Let's go to the Stone Cold Rollers. Let's see what we got going on. Evoltol, Cinderace. I wanted the Cinderace. That was going to be my first pick, but it got taken. I didn't want Gmax Cinderace because I wanted to use it to set sun mainly. And you can't do that with Gmax, which is not as good in my opinion. It's nice to be able to change weather. Excadrill. Do you have a Sand Setter? I wonder. No Sand Setter. Has Combustion, Glaceon. Aggron's not great. Toxtricity is incredible. Chandelure is incredible. That is like a legendary special attack stat. I'm just saying. You can't let that thing be hitting you. Corviknight strong. Alakazam strong. Very strong team overall. This seems like a top-heavy team as well to me. I don't see this lower stuff ever coming. Maybe Glaceon will come against some of the ice teams just to get Snowcloak going. Maybe run like some Bright Powder on it just to be real annoying. I love Toxtricity though. I'll probably give this team a 7 out of 10. It doesn't look like too scary. This isn't like a team I'll be too worried about, but I'm not doubting it because obviously this is Pokemon. Things be happening. You got to look out. So 7 out of 10 overall on the Stone Cold Rollers. And to end it up with a sugary Slurpuffs. The Ho-Oh. Very defensive on the special side. Has a decent attack stat as well. Can even go special attack if you want. Kingler Gmax. I love that boy. I'm just saying. But it's not the best Gmax for sure. but it's not the worst either. Picks up Latios as well, Tornadus Incarnate, Blacephalon, Xurkitree. God, that thing is scary. I'm surprised that thing was 13 points, like with that special attack stat. But Sylveon, great. Liepard and Riolu as prankster users. Even got the Justified Absol. This team looks kind of scary. I can't lie. If that Kingler starts really dropping speed on stuff and lets this slower stuff like Metagross and Xurkitree get ahead of you in speed, you're going to have a problem, bro. You're going to have a big problem. I'm not sure what really the lower stuff can do. I'm not super confident in that. Like the Frostmoth, Absol, and Lopunny, I don't see it really doing a lot for his team. But I'm just saying, this team looks scary overall. But I'll probably give this team a 7 out of 10 as well. Has a lot of scary stuff, but not a lot of super good synergy, I would say. It has things, but just it doesn't synergize super well. So we'll give you a 7 out of 10. Scary things though. So guys, I hope you enjoyed my thoughts on these teams. Like I said, these are only brief looks at these teams. I will go over each team more in depth as I play each person throughout the weeks. And I'll only be playing 8 of these people. So 8 of the ones I showed you, I won't even be playing against. So we're only doing an 8-week season to test things out and then a playoff. So please, guys, if you haven't already, like, comment, and subscribe. And as always, guys, God bless and peace.